I'm not upset about it. I just did a whole bunch of work on the video that has somehow disappeared. So what I was doing was a sustaining or upside down fire on a very macro scale. I used fire starter where I very simply had my dryer lint as well as some Vaseline. And the premise of the fire was to start having with your firewood, which would be your biggest sticks. You would lay them basically parallel to each other to start a platform. Then you would get smaller sticks, you know, to go on top. Then you would get smaller and smaller. Because most people are used to a fire being the pyramid style where you have the big stuff on top and the small stuff at the bottom so they can burn through. But a lot of times those fires can collapse, and then plus they're not good for cooking. But with upside down fires, again, as you get smaller and smaller, the higher that you get, the tinder and the kindling will burn down. So that's pretty much the concept. You know, again, as you get smaller and smaller, they crisscross. Get you some fire starter, put it on top, and let it burn itself down. So I'm wishing greetings and peace. My energy is a little down because I was very detailed in the previous video. I didn't make it, and all I'm hoping is that whoever this needs to reach, that it reaches them. Again, this is, you can build this up on a macro level, a larger level, with how you do your fires. Again, upside down fire, self-sustaining fire, and pretty much this fire is really good for cooking because the platform that you built, almost like the cabin, is going to burn down. And as it burns down, you will have hot coals, like as you see in the other fire. All of those white pieces now will be considered good coals, where you'll be able to cook your meals, your hobos. That's why you need aluminum foil out there in the field so you can cook. But again, this is just a quick video to demonstrate homemade fire starter with Vaseline and dryer lint, and then how the upside down fire starts with the smallest stuff on top, and then it burns itself down. It's just not a whole lot more that you have to do to it. So I hope my words came out clear. I'm hoping that this reaches who it needs to reach, because people, it's time for us to prepare. We need to learn how to stop living without so many conveniences. And even though the fire starter has rolled over to the side, I think you can see that all of the sticks in the middle are beginning to burn. And as you see the one on top where the wind blew it over, I still have all of those nice hot coals back there to be able to cook a meal if this was definitely a bigger fire. So let me get these angles. Hopefully it is showing up that this fire is burning on down, and as you see, there is not a whole lot more that I have to do to it. Just let it burn and then add fire to it. And I think the last thing I add is that people, there was preparation involved. Whenever you're going camping or you're trying to survive, you must acquire plenty of wood. You must go and get a lot of wood. I'm going to say it again, you must go and get the wood. You need to take out the time to process the wood. We're just taking all the pieces that are in similar size, not by length, but by diameter. Taking out the time to process all of this wood and to separate them into individual piles, so that when the fire gets going and it's about to go out, you will have what you need nearby. You won't have to leave your fire unattended and fear it burning down the world or it going out because you didn't have enough firewood and that you didn't take out the time to process and do what needs to be done. Don't get a fire started and then have to work on your wood. Have everything ready. So that is the most important thing about fires, that you must procure the wood first, then you must process it. And yes, it takes work, people. And as you see, the first fire that I totally missed is still smoldering. Again, these would be really, I don't know if the camera's picking up, but those are really good hot coals if this was a bigger fire to cook your meals. So I love you all. Namaste. Shalom.